Guys, what's up? We are back. All right. All right. All right. All right. Potato embrace. Hey, girlfriend. All right. All right. Let's see if we can find a match. All right. Okay. I never know if I am actually talking. Which is a problem. Okay. Oh no! You jammed your toe. You think you're dying? Yeah, that's understandable. That's actually like a sign of death. So I'll do this for a while and then we can chat. Puppy chat. My last words are, okay. FF14 is the best game. Shut up, get out. And then I would say, just ignore her, she's delusional.
Secure the room. We need to protect the biohazard container.
Delusional. But please tell me if this lags or the quality dips.
Op 4 located the biohazard container.
Rude.
Device activated.
10 seconds to insertion. 5 seconds.
Welcome at deployed.
I'm reporting you for bullying. Yeah, don't do that.
At all costs.
Please.
Setting up.
Camera activated. Evil eye deployed.
Uh-oh.
Setting the welcome.
Yo. Tell him Mom whenever she comes home. What are we at? Oh please, they make it seem like I'm like in like Timbuktu. I really want somebody to hit my trap.
Reloading.
1 op 4 remaining.
Boom.
4 eliminated. Mission successful.
I see Clubhouse and I see hostage. Gosh darn it. I'm like, ooh, it's hostage! Oh wait, no it's not.
We need to protect the biohazard container. Secure the room.
Swapping mags.
Yo.
Initiate jammer.
Seriously, they make it seem like I'm in Timbuktu. What the heck? The thing is, I mean, I guess mine's sort of different. Okay, now it's different. Appreciate everyone who's watching right now. We might have to lower the quality. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
10 seconds remaining.
It's weird how I can do Overwatch
5 seconds.
at 720, but when it comes to Siege,
Biohazard container location unknown. Keep it secure.
that's a problem.
Activated device. Device placed. Reloading. Enemy spotted. Base. Enemy located.
Op 4 found the biohazard container.
Oh! He killed me before I could kill him. Should we review some research methods? I think so. Let's go. Let's do it. Okay, we don't need that. Oops. Okay.
4 eliminated. Mission successful.
Alright, let's look at the study guide, shall we? Okay. You may be asking, Cynthia, what the heck is tenacity? That is such a good question. It is honestly such a good question. Tenacity is the unquestioning faith in one's perspective, which is why pseudoscience works. It can be good, but it also could be, you know, could be just a little problematic. Then
Find the biohazard container location.
we have different types of knowledge or learning. We have authority, which is actually fairly self-explanatory. What in the world? It's those who we view are
The
experts.
biohazard container has been
We
located. 10 seconds to go.
assume they are correct.
5
Textbooks,
seconds before insertion.
parents are really good examples of this, but they can be wrong. Like my textbook that says the range is the maximum minus the maximum. Anyone with a wee bit of knowledge knows that's actually not
Grenade.
how it works.
Frag out.
Reloading. See you on the other side.
No! I was so close! I saw it. No, don't heal me. I hit it, but I didn't destroy it. I deserve to die. I have brought shame.
1 op 4 remaining.
I am so ashamed. I saw it. I hit it.
Op 4 neutralized.
Didn't destroy it. I am deeply ashamed. I am so ashamed. I believe I call myself a frost main. Only fools step in frost traps. Anywho, authority, if you only get your information from authority, it could be bad. You may say, Cynthia, why could it be bad? Because they could be wrong. And this is why parents, when parents spread their racist views to little children, the children believe it. Because they don't learn anything else. Okay? I'm so ashamed. I really am. Alright, then we have discourse and knowledge. This is the gaining of information by using reason. Okay? Which is fairly self-explanatory. Is the idea behind this. It's rationalism. So we use reason to come to a conclusion. We learn through reasons, using reason and logic. Alright, then we have experience. This is, we learn This is... We learn through experience, and the idea behind this is Locke. Locke's theory. Locke is a big supporter of this. And, empiricism. Empiricism? I don't know. English isn't my forte, even though it's my primary language, but you know, whatever. Okay, so we have those as a way we learn, okay? There are flaws, to be a good, to be knowledgeable, you have to be able to learn through different ways. Because if you just use authority, you know, you might not get the whole picture. If you just use logic, well, then you miss out on some, you know, experience. And if you just use experience, well, what if somebody doesn't have experience? It kind of sucks.
We need to locate a bomb.
Okay, so that's that with that. And then we're moving on. We have the availability heuristic. This is why people think shark attacks actually happen quite frequently, when in fact, more people kill sharks than sharks kill humans. Mostly because shark attacks aren't very common. Secondly, sharks are dumb. And they're like, ooh, what's this thingy-mabobber moving in the water? I'm gonna take a bite out of it. And then they're like, oh, you taste awful. Yeah, and then they just leave. Most of the time. Of course, you know, like, that might not be the whole thing, but...
Targets detected. First floor.
But anyway, the availability heuristic is, overestimating how often rare or unusual circumstances occur.
Bomb has been located.
I can't break through that one. Oh, that was very traumatizing. Come on, come on. Oh, you're supposed to go through this way. Then we have the hindsight bias. This is Nostradamus. Kristen, do you remember how I was like, there's this one dude who was doing that one thing, and I couldn't pick his name out? It was Nostradamus. The hindsight bias is after something has occurred, you say, oh yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it. I knew it. It's Nostradamus. I can't exactly remember why he predicted stuff, or he said he predicted stuff after they occurred. I don't know. Okay, it's just hindsight bias is when you're like, psh, I knew that was gonna happen. What? Psh. Yeah, I knew that. I knew that was gonna happen. Then we have confirmation bias, which is the tendency to only look for information that supports your hypothesis or your belief, and ignoring contradictory information. Okay? The people who think the earth is flat use confirmation bias, because 99% of the population knows the earth is round. Even back in the ancient times, they knew the earth was round. But the people who think the earth is flat, no, we're just going to ignore that, and we're just going to go with what we believe, okay? Can you see where the problem is? Okay, now we have, and if anything seems unclear, guys, okay, I have a test on Friday, okay, that I'm not really worried for, but my brain thinks I'm worried for, even though I know I really shouldn't be worried for. Then we have naturalistic observation. You may be saying, what in the world is this? Well, it's actually pretty self-explanatory. You are observing animals or human beings in their natural environment with no... You don't control anything. Okay? A problem with this is there's going to be observer bias. The observer may pick out things that support their thingy-bobber and then just ignore the things that don't. And then the absence of control, because it's naturalistic that you don't have any control. And so it could go awful. Then participation of observation is when the researcher... I was like, why am I lagging? I was hitting a tree. Is when the researcher becomes it is a part of the populate, like part of the sample. And a problem with this is a thing called reactivity, which is apparently on the test, but it's not in the chapter, so I have no idea what he's talking about. No, I didn't want to do that. Go back. Can I not? I want to repel. Can I not repel? Alright, that's fine. Anywho. Okay, a problem with this is reactivity, which means that people act differently when they know they're being watched. And so to counteract this, you use hidden cameras. Like, what would you do? I'm John Quinones, and this is what would you do? Where am I even going? My goodness. I have no idea where I'm going. I'm so discombobulated, it's not even funny. Ha, sucker. Okay. Alright, where were we? Okay, we did that. Okay, we have survey research. We have a few problems with this. The wording could be weird. Especially when it revolves around... I can't even actually remember what it revolves around. Anyway, just the wording of... Even though you may be asking the same thing, the way it's worded could change how people answer.
Bomb has been located.
And then we have, again, bias. You know, you're looking for, you know, you're gonna pick and choose, which isn't good. Alright, then we have, case studies, which is the study of one individual. Usually, it's usually done when there's like a rare occurrence, like this one guy who got a metal pole stuck in his head, and he still lived after it, but one of his lobes was damaged or something like that. But a problem with this is that it's to be a good study, you really want it to be generalizable, which means is it relatable to the population? And with case studies, it's really hard to generalize to the public because they're on individual basis.
Protect the bombs.
And it's hard to... Oh my goodness, I'm Frost on bomb. This is my time to be Viggle Wiggle. Alright, okay. Then we have archival research, which is just looking at different types of information. Like birth certificates, census is common.
Down to 10 seconds.
Nope, that's hacked. So is that.
5 seconds to insertion.
But a problem with this is that there could be missing data, or again, pick and choosing. You know, we got bias. See, bias? Is it just bias? All right. What was that? Uh-oh. Then we have, okay, what the heck is control? Because a good experiment has a control. Actually, to be considered an experiment, you have a control, which is either no treatment or you on a placebo. And this is for a baseline. So we can, like, how are we supposed to know if this treatment works if we don't have, you know, something to base it off of? So that's what the control group does. And then we have operational definitions. Now you may say it's really common in psych for like to study intelligence or aggression, especially aggression in video games. But how in the world do you study aggression? Because you can't be like, okay, after you played this game, are you gonna go kill people? Like, you can't do that. That's not ethical. I mean, you could do that. It's not ethical. And you wouldn't be able to get past the APA, but that's besides the point. So then they like hard constructs, so like intelligence, aggression are called constructs. And so they come up with a way to study aggression and into something that can be measurable and easily recorded. Okay, that's operationalizing it. Alright, then we have basic research. Okay? Ha, sucker. Except I'm very mad I stepped in one. We have basic research. Now, some may say that, who needs basic research? Because basic research is done in labs, and it's researching fundamental principles, and it may not have a lot to do with real-world situations, okay? Applied research deals with real-world situations, and it's done in the field. Real-world problems, but without basic research, we wouldn't have applied research. So, okay, then you may be saying, Cynthia, what the heck? There are tons of studies out there. How do I know if they're good? You know, are they just awful studies? Well, I'm so glad you asked that. We have ways of knowing if they're good studies. One of them is how reliable is this study? Now you may be saying, Cynthia. Well, I'm so glad you asked. Reliability is, are the results consistent, and can they be repeatable if we do the exact same thing? Okay? Because if a study can be, if it's a study like, you know, I'll do the famous study on obedience. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh no. Milgram study. Milgram study was about, long story short, this is after World War II, and he wanted to know why people were okay with the Holocaust. Like, why no one said anything? Like, why did the German people follow Hitler? And so, I kid you not, this is what he believed. It must be something with Germans. Germans must have, like, they must be more susceptible to obedience, and so that's why they never say anything. And so he did a study, a very, very famous study, about shock. Like, the participants would be told by Milgram and his cohorts that they will be the test givers, and so then, and if the tester gave a wrong answer or no answer, they had to give them a shock. Okay? It turns out like the tester wasn't actually real and they weren't actually giving shocks, but it was to see how far a person would go because they were told to do so. And I can't remember how many people were there, but like 68% went all the way to like 4,000 volts, which is really, really shocking. And everyone went before he hypothesized that like less than 1% would go all the way. Many other researchers were like, no, this is not going to happen. No one's going to go all the way. It turns out 68% of them went all the way, and they were like, what? What? And so then they just repeated the process. They redid the study multiple times, and it came out with very, very similar responses, that we are very, very obedient. And so that's very reliable, okay? And so then we have another thing that sort of goes along with reliability. Murder that man or I will give you a shock. Okay, it wasn't like that. It's actually really, really scary. Kristen, if you want, just look up Milgram's study. It's really scary how far people would go. Because, they would like, I'll give you like, there have been many renditions with the same conclusion, which is very, very scary.
Mission failed. All friendlies were eliminated.
So they would get to, I honestly cannot tell you how much shock a person could get before, they pass out, duh. But like, a few into it, like the person, the tester, who wasn't actually like getting hurt, would beg the person to stop, and the person, the participant, would be like, ooh, I don't know, and then the Milgram would say, oh no, just treat no answer as a wrong answer, and they would just be like, okay, and they would just continue to do the shock. And it was terrifying, but it also, it made sense on why did I choose Clash? On why the Nazis were as powerful as they were. Alright, then we have validity, which is how you're measuring X actually measuring X, or is it measuring Y instead of X?
10 seconds.
Let's see here. I thought there was a drone here, but that's fine.
Op 4 has located a bomb. Be ready for hostile action.
And now it could, for a study can be reliable but not valid, because let's,
located a bomb. You know what to do.
I can't think of a study that's reliable. I mean, actually a lot of the that was really dumb of me. A lot of the intelligence tests actually a lot of the personality tests are reliable, but they're not really valid. But okay, so a study can be reliable but not valid, but it cannot be valid and not reliable. Okay? So if you're looking at a study, make sure it's reliable, it's consistent and repeatable, and it's actually measuring X and not Y, okay? Then we have continuous variables. You may say, whoa, Cynthia, what in the world? What? That is, it's not limited to a certain number, okay? Usually, it's really rare for people in a sample to have the same two continuous variables. A good example of this is weight and height, because usually you're not exactly your weight. Like the scale will say 130, but like you could be 129 point blah blah blah. I mean, if you want to say it's valid, go ahead. And yeah. Alright, then we have opposite, which is each level represents a separate category. No idea what that means. Alright, then we have quantitative variables. This is, they vary in amount. So body temperature, any number, like number of kids, number of pets, is quantitative. Qualitative is the variation of kinds. So we got religion, politics, soda, beverages. Did I just write soda? Pop. The types of pop. Alright, then we have different types of, like, you're like, Cynthia, dude, numbers actually mean that's a really weird way to ask it. We have 4 different types of measurement scales. We have nominal, which is just a way to categorize stuff. Like zip code. There's no real meaning behind zip code. It's just a set of numbers. Jersey numbers. There's no real, you know, you can't find the average number for a jersey. That just makes no sense. Then we have ordinal, which makes a wee bit more sense than nominal, but, you know, not great. And this is just placements, but it doesn't give you the distance. So, like race placements is a good example of this. When you don't know, like, the times, you know, like, the first, second, and third. But it, again, it doesn't make sense to get the mean, the average of ordinal, because if you have 13 race runners, well, the average racer is going to be 15th place. Well, that just makes no sense. It makes no sense, and I'm lagging a whole bunch. Okay, so then we have interval. This is this one you actually get means. You can actually get data from this. From the next two, you can get actual data, usable data. But interval data, there's no real zero. The zero does not mean the absence of whatever you're measuring. Temperature, except for Kelvin, is a good example of this. Just because it's 0 degrees doesn't mean temperature ceases to exist. It just means it's really cold. Then we have ratio. This is exactly like interval, but there's a real zero. So speed is a really good example. Because if you're going 0 miles per hour, you're not moving. Now, you may say, Cynthia, what are the types of, fool? Now, you may be saying, Cynthia, what are the types of, hey, Smash, what's up? You may be saying, Cynthia, what are the types of, validity? Like, is there, like, one type of validity? No, you silly goose. There are multiple types of validities.
biohazard container.
We have internal validity and external validity. Hi, Smash. Did I already say hi, Smash? Internal validity, you ask the question, is it free of confound? Which means, are there other reasons for getting the results? And is it free of I can't say this word. Methodology.
Stop the hostage. Securing the container.
Errors, okay? So is it really, like, is it well done, okay? Did you get rid of, like, you know, other questions? Yeah, okay. Then we have external validity, which is it generalized, oh god, I can't speak. Is it generalizability? Is it general to the public? There we go. No need to speak in big words. Can you make generalizations about it, about the results that compare well to the population? We have threats to internal validity, which is what again? Free from confounds, okay? We have regression. A perfect example of this is the Madden cover curse, which I think is hilarious because I love it. And it's once you're at the top, you really can only go down. Okay? People who are on the cover of Madden are usually at their top of the game. And so, you know, they're gonna fall. So that's regression. Practice effect is after taking the first test, after taking the test once, and then you take it again, you're gonna do better if it's the same exact test. Because you know what to look for. Okay? But, on the other hand, if they're too different, if the pre and post test are too different, then we're going to have instrumentation, which is the different pre and post tests are not equivalent. So, you have to find a happy medium. Okay, how to find that happy medium? I don't know. I'm not a researcher. Then we have history, which is Antonio Brown went down. Yeah, that's in the other whole story. The history is any event outside of the test could have an influence on the test again, taking the test again. Then we have selection effect. Selecting certain groups or opting out of certain groups can have an impact. And then we have attrition, which is people just leaving. They start the study and then they just leave. They're like, I don't have to do this. I don't got time to do this, whatever reason. But that also it messes up the results. Then we have experimenter bias. Which means what exactly? That's a really good question. I'm so glad you asked that question. What am I doing? Oh, sorry. My bad. Experimenter bias is when an experimenter looks... He has an idea of what... Oh! My grenade never went off. Grenade. So you look for evidence that supports your theory, okay? How to control this? I mean, you just look at all the data, okay? Even if your hypothesis is wrong, you still got, you know, participant bias. I have no idea what that means. I don't think we learned about that, but whatever, I'll look it up. Then we have the mean, median, and mode. The mean! I know this might be, I might lose you guys here, okay? My professor thought he was gonna lose us. To find the mean, you add up all of the numbers, and divide by the total number of numbers. I know. It's very complex. I know, it's scary. I know, but that's what you do. To find the median, it's the middle value when the numbers are listed from highest to lowest. And then to find the mode, it's the most frequent score. I know, it's scary. It's scary to find it, but it's there. Then we have the weighted mean, which occurs when you're using two groups, but like they have different number of scores in the sample. And to find this, you just add up all the scores and then divide by the total number of people. Okay? Then we have the summation of all scores, which is some stupid Greek letter. I think it's sigma. And then that just means that you add up all the numbers in the sample. Okay, then we have a normal curve, which is also known as the bell curve, which means that it's a nice curve with the mean, median, and mode the same thing. And then we have a positive skew, which means that most of the numbers, most of the values are on the left side, and there's a tail on the right side. You may say, well, what's an example of this? The income is a very good example of this, and when it's positive skew, the mean is greater than the mean is greater than the median and the mode. Income is a very good example of this, because if you look at the median income or the mean income for probably the US, it'll say the income is like $1 million, because we have a whole bunch of people, or not a whole bunch of people, but people who are, you know, billionaires, and then we have a whole bunch of other people who aren't, but the billionaires are dragging the score, the sample to the right. Okay, then we have a negative skew, which means the mean is less than the median in the mode, and the tail is on the left, but the most of the numbers are on the right. Okay, then we have standard deviation, and a standard deviation, 68% of the numbers are within one standard deviation. According to IQ tests, the average IQ is 100. One standard deviation is 15, I think. So 68% of the population has an IQ score of 85 and 115. Two standard deviations is 96%, so 96% of the population is in between that, and then 3 standard deviations is 99, and if you're out there. Then we have something that we learned today that's going to be on the test. You spent like 2 minutes on, and it's different types of curves. We have the, oh boy. Okay, so it's called the kurtosis. That doesn't even seem like a real word. The peakness or flatness of the distribution. Okay? Okay, stay with me, folks. Okay, so we have the Liptokurtic. That just doesn't even look like a real word. And this is a very sharp peak with the scores concentrated in the center. Okay, then we have the Mesokurtic, which is the happy medium. It's like a bell curve, you know. And then we have the, oh boy, Platicurt, whatever that is, and that's distributed throughout. The scores are distributed throughout, and it's flat. And I'm getting a, it's. My PlayStation's like, Cynthia, stop, you're killing us here. Alright, but that's it. I'm done. I have studied. Oh!
Secure
Enough.
The room. Protect the bio container. Resume securing the container once the threat is neutralized. 1 op 4 remaining.
Ugh. If I don't ace this test, I'm gonna be very mad. It's gonna be mostly multiple choice, so like I hope I do well.
Op 4 eliminated.
Multiple choice is the best. Yeah, but most of my, he said it's just gonna be at the start, and then as the semester progresses, it's gonna be less multiple choice because we're gonna be doing more math. And I'm like, alright, that's fine. I mean, it's just stats, it's not. It's not that bad. Plus the professor's cool, so. My religion one, not so much. I hate religion 101. I don't hate it, I just don't like the professor. Is so not college. There's some multiple, I mean, all of my tests that I had last semester were multiple choice. It's just now I'm, excuse me, I just got in. It's just the
Stop the hostiles
the
from
class is
securing the
mostly
container.
math, or is stats, so.
This is where you stop.
Prevent further access to the biohazard container. One friendly operator remaining. Mission failed. All friendlies have been neutralized.
Is toxic unrank is the way to go. I just don't, I get tired of bomb. Alright, let's see if we can get into a game. You get kicked? No, I lost connection. I'm supposed to play Spetnaz. Alright, let's play Spetnaz. Appreciate everyone watching right now. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Find the biohazard container location.
I always forget how to enter from here.
Nicely done. The biohazard container has been located. Seconds. 5 seconds to insertion. Proceed to biohazard container location.
Alrighty. Let's go. Did this used to have water? I have a vague recollection of this having water.
You're not out yet.
Op 4 last stop standing. One friendly operator remaining.
Oh no, will he be able to win? Oh. Wow, really delayed reaction there, bud. You You're not gonna be able to spot him from there. What are you doing? Do it.
All friendlies have been eliminated. Find the biohazard container location.
Alright, I do believe this will be my last game though. I know I didn't stream for long, but come on, game. Come on. Come on. I believe in you.
10 seconds. 5 seconds to go.
Are we just not marking them? Is that what we doing?
Biohazard container location unknown. Find the biohazard container. You have found the biohazard container.
I was gonna say, how the heck did I not spot that? Alright, they got a dock. What else we thinking? Are we thinking Wiggle Wiggle? Oh. I was hoping I would get a kill.
Time for a wake-up call.
Incoming adrenaline boost.
Oh, I didn't even see the
Friendly operator
lesion.
remaining.
Didn't even see the lesion. I just saw the dock.
We have been eliminated.
Wow. Like I said, appreciate everyone who's watching right now. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tomorrow, what will we be doing tomorrow? Maybe some Witcher. I might do some Witcher. We'll see. It will be in the afternoon. Actually, we might do a little bit in the morning.
Secure the room. We need to protect the biohazard container.
We need to protect the biohazard container.
War reinforced!
Op 4 drone located the biohazard container.
Oh no, I've been spotted. My one job is Wiggle Wiggle and I have failed. My one job as Wiggle Wiggle. I have one job. One job and I failed.
10 insertion.
I failed. Here we go. We're just gonna barricade a whole bunch of walls.
5 seconds.
We're gonna
to
make
count.
a whole bunch of hassle for a whole bunch of people. Okay, so then we're gonna go
Op 4
here.
has located the biohazard container.
Door secure!
Door secured. See, we're just barricading this. Barricading this. We'll barricade this. See, I'm really helping right now, team. Where are they, though? Oh, jeez Louise! Why are you up there, Blackbeard? Hold on.
What a mess. Let me help.
Friendly, last operator standing.
Do we have faith? I do not. Nope. Okay.
Mission failed. All
Mission
friendlies
failed.
neutralized.
It's okay, team. Wait, how did she hit that? How did that looked like it wasn't okay, whatever, it's fine. Alright. This is where I'm gonna end it though. Whenever you guys see this, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. We'll be back tomorrow. Peace out.